Hello, Taurus, and welcome to Indigo Rising Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you're having a great day. This will be your weekly reading for the week of June 14th through the 20th, and during that time we have a new moon that comes in on the 15th. And of course, that's a time for fresh starts, a new beginning, good time to learn a new skill or to start any new projects or make new decisions. We then, for the rest of the week, have the waxing crescent moon, and that is a time of heightened senses, a good time for us to buckle down and at least start to make the plans and start working on those things that we've decided to do during the new moon. So a good time to just live up to your expectations and intentions. So please keep those moon energies in mind as we move through the week. This will be an intuitive general reading for energies that you may or may not encounter, Taurus. So as always, please take what resonates and leave what doesn't here on the table for someone else. And your overall message for this reading is the energy is gaining momentum. All right, let's see what the Taurus Collective has going on for the week. As I'm shuffling the tarot, my fun weekly reminder for you this week kind of goes along with the new moon, and that is that you learn something new. So pick a topic that maybe in the past few weeks you've thought about and thought, I don't know a thing about that, but I want to learn. And make those preparations. It might be that you need to order a book or find a lecture or find a class, but take the time, even if it's just 2 or 3 hours this week for you, and set that time aside to learn something totally new. I mean, it could be anything under the sun. It could be something about history. It could be taking a pottery class. It could be taking a dance class. It could be just anything, reading a book, maybe a biography about someone that you're interested in. So, but just give yourself that time and space this week to learn something new. So, all right, let's get into this reading. Taurus, June 14th through the 20th. The energy is gaining momentum, and your overall present energy right now, well, there's some momentum here. It's probably the most momentous card in the entire tarot. The Knight of Swords. I always laugh when I see the horse, because the horse is like, what is going on? But this Knight of Swords is about information. It's about information that comes in quickly, maybe through an email or a text or a phone call. Something is communicated to you, or it can also just be an idea that comes to you, and it's something that you feel like you need to act on right now. It's something that comes to you fast, out of the blue, and you feel the need to act on it. So that's certainly a momentum building card there. Your current situation is the High Priestess. So this could come to you in a dream. This could be that if you ever wake up in the middle of the night and you're like, oh, and there's some dream that maybe solves an issue or problem that you're having. If that's the case, if you do have dreams like that, it is really good first they say to lay very, very still, as not to change your body chemistry, and then to first sit there and just remember the dream, and then to get up and write that dream down, or reach for your phone and just record it if you need to. So, because sometimes if you'll have those dreams in the middle of the night or early in the morning, and you wake up and the next morning you can't remember that dream. So that's something I do. I do have to get up that night and write it down. So it's something that comes to you, though, and it may be a dream. It could be just an intuitive thing that comes to you. Again, it's just some new thought. It just comes in very quickly, and you're not even sure where this thought or idea comes from. At the root of this situation is the Seven of Pentacles. So this is some sort of harvest coming in, or just waiting on a harvest. There's nothing really that you can do except wait for the seeds that you've planted to make some sort of arrival. Or this is at the root of what this could be, some idea that maybe you have been thinking of for a while, and this is the fruit of that, right? That you finally get a breakthrough. But that's at the root of your situation, is you're kind of waiting on seeds that you've already planted to kind of come through for whatever reason. In your recent past, here is the Three of Pentacles. So this could have been something about some sort of creative collaboration. A lot of times this card denotes that this could be something about work, work, finances, that sort of thing, where there was a creative collaboration in your recent past, and you're kind of waiting on those things to come in, or again, this idea or communication comes in really quickly that changes things or helps things out. But some sort of energy is gaining momentum. It could just be that you're working on something creatively, and this week you're just a little bit more active with it. Okay, what is on your mind this week is the Ten of Swords. So there's something here too that you're done with, that you're just, and again, with the sword energy, it could be thoughts or ideas or communications. It could just be some idea that you've had, that this new idea that comes in just totally replaces those thoughts that you had, and so you stop thinking them, right? And you're just done with those thoughts. But there is something for you here on your mind that you're done thinking. There's kind of a shift, and you're going to be thinking things in a new way. What is just ahead of you this week is the Hanged Man, which is about having a new perspective, which totally makes sense if you're done with one way of thinking. And I'm trying to think myself of a good example. Let's see. Let's say that you're working on a project at work, and it has to do with you're planning an event, and you have you've consulted with other people, and you're working with other people, and you guys came up with a color theme and something. Let's say you're throwing a big party. You came up with a color theme and a decorative theme and all this stuff, and that's kind of what you're rolling with, and you move in, and all of a sudden you have this intuitive thought that comes in. It's like, oh no, we totally picked the wrong color for this and that reason. Let's get rid of that idea, and let's go with this new thought that I've had. And that's what I'm saying about getting rid of something that you did kind of put some time and energy into, but this new thing just makes more sense. So that is perspective changing for sure, and that's what's going to happen, is your perspective will change on that. In your advice position here is the Wheel of Fortune. And I'm just laughing because many of these same cards were showing up in the Aries reading that I just did in different positions. But, the Wheel of Fortune in your advice position is about evolving, about changing, about taking that new perspective that you have and turning it in. You turn a new page, and what you were one way yesterday, and you're going to be another way tomorrow. And this is like the evolvement of learning. It's this could be a, about having good luck. It could be just about an opportunity that shows up. It could be that's what this is, that something has changed because this new information came in, or this new opportunity comes in. So, and the advice with the Wheel of Fortune in your advice position is to take it. Don't, even if it comes in the way of a dream or comes in some way that you can't even explain. With this, the High Priestess is about things that come in mysterious ways. Don't question it. Just go ahead and go, thank you very much, universe, and let's run with it, right? What is beyond your control this week is the Eight of Swords. So there's going to be some situation in which you do feel stuck, but know that you can think your way out of it. And I think with this new perspective, I don't see that that's going to be an issue. I think you'll be just fine with thinking yourself out of it. What is your secret desire, or what are you trying to avoid? Is the Five of Pentacles. And this card is really about feeling like an outsider. So I doubt if that's your secret desire, and you might be trying to avoid that there might be some reason that you're, I want to say that you're a little reticent to maybe bring this idea to this meeting, or bring it to the table, because of that feeling. It's kind of scary to be the one that's like, well, I have an idea if anybody wants to hear it, and everyone's like, oh, it's a great idea, but you have that fear to do it. So if you're feeling like, that feeling of feeling like an outsider, then don't go ahead and just, again, you want to evolve, you want to take this information and push it out there with this new perspective that you're having. Go ahead and share it with people, no matter what you think they might think of you, because you don't really know. In your outcome position is another 10 with the 10 of Wands here. So some final push to be totally done with something. And it could be that whatever this new perspective just brings this project to fruition, and things take place, and you just push through and you're done with it, right? It could be the changing of this 10, which is, again, getting rid of some old thought or idea of some way of being, into this is the final push to finish whatever this creative project that you started. So you're going to make that final push and wrap it up. And I think that's pretty good. It's a good way to end that reading. Let's see what's hidden from you here at the bottom of the deck is the Emperor. So our Emperor is about stability, leadership. This is, the Emperor is someone who can build something, right? So think about that, especially here. If you have this new idea and this kind of energy, this leadership ability, this leadership energy is kind of hidden from you this week. This might be your clue to dig a little bit deeper, to not feel like an outsider, but go ahead and to take that lead on something that you're maybe, again, a little bit nervous to do. But listen, when ideas come in, so let's say you do have an idea and you present it and it just gets poo-pooed. That's the end of it. It's fine. You're going to move on. You're going to be fine tomorrow, right? But if on and then no one's going to remember that, oh, there was a bad idea. No, we all have bad ideas all the time. But that's why, working together and creativity, you're just kind of throwing things out there. But if this thing that comes to you, you have this new perspective and it's kind of a lucky break almost, So don't be afraid to take the lead and to put that information out there. And hopefully it is successful. And you're going to be like, oh, whew, okay, that's great. So again, the energy on something is gaining momentum. So I feel like it kind of gains momentum through the week, and then you do wrap it up at the end of the week. Okay, speaking of wrapping up, let's get you a final card here from the Soul Oracle deck. Final words here for Taurus as they go through this week. Let me see if we have any repeaters. I don't think we did. Actually, no, we have 2 10s. So you might want to look up angel number 10. Actually, we have 3 10s. So that's interesting. Look up 10, 10, 10. See if that means anything to you. A lot of 10. That's a lot of ending energy, right? Things moving and wrapping up. All right, let's get you a final message here from the Soul Oracle deck. Says for you, live life to the fullest. So, I'm going to say that a person is living life to the fullest isn't worried about their idea being judged or feeling like an outsider because they're going to bring something up. They are going to take on more of this emperor feel about building and being a leader. So don't be afraid to do that this week. If it enters your mind to go, just take a breath, get it done. All right, what do you need to do in the way of self-care? Self-care for Taurus this week, and the card that you get is the card that says passion. Light up your life by honoring your deepest desires. Okay? So what is it that you're passionate about? And make sure you are honoring that, and if you're passionate about wanting to be a leader in some area, then maybe this is your calling. Maybe it's your week to want to do that. So pay attention to that. I think that's it. Look up angel number 101010, Taurus. I hope there's something in this reading that you can use in a positive way in your life this week. And if you're comfortable sharing, of course, drop me a comment down below. Let me know. Or if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer those for you. Also, if you like my reading style and you're not a subscriber, hitting subscribe and hitting like really helps me. And I thank you so much in advance for doing that. So, Taurus, thank you so much for being here. Good luck with all of this. Come on back next week and let's see where your energy goes then. So thanks so much. See you next time. Bye-bye.